When I made my edible cookie dough recipe, I said that it took me back to my childhood. But that is not the only thing that would take me back to my childhood, because Little Debbie was just about my best friend. From Swiss rolls to nutty bars to oatmeal cream pies, I loved it all. But today, in the Anabolic Laboratory, we will be reviewing Ethan Harold's Cosmic Brownie. Not only will we actually make the recipe and I will review the recipe itself, but I will put it side by side with a legitimate Cosmic Brownie, which is about this small for 300 calories. Ethan has been working his tail off to make content, so after you watch this video, you should definitely go check out his channel and give him a subscribe as well. But my name is Nick. I make anabolic recipes from scratch, and I also review anabolic recipes, which I will be doing here today. So if you're ready to stuff your face with cosmic brownies like I'm about to do today, then let's get into it. Simple enough here. We start with 8 slices of bread. This is the Italian bread. It's 45 calories though. It has seeds on it. It is what it is. It'll taste fine once everything is blended up. How you doing, Ethan? Oh, pretty good. So now I'm getting my egg whites together, and Ethan, I am the same way here in Chicago. It is astronomically cheaper to separate eggs by hand. I'm usually getting dozens between 69 and 79 cents for a dozen of eggs. There's no way you can beat it. So my 6 eggs only made about 205 grams of egg whites, so I'm gonna add an extra one. I'm going off the grams here. Beautiful. Protein powder in. Now I'm using pure cane instead of Splenda, which is erythritol. Erythritol isn't as sweet, so I'm gonna add a couple extra grams. So I think you said 10 grams. Yeah, 10 grams, so I'm gonna go with about 13 grams here. The difference between the one he uses and the one I use is they say there's around 3 calories still, maybe a little bit under, per gram of the maltodextrin mixed with the sucralose. So mine is essentially 0 calories. There's up for debate, but you know, we're talking 2 calories versus maybe 20. So I'm saving the calories there. I forgot I even had this. I haven't used it in forever, but this will make good use of it. Now he calls for coconut flour. I was gonna use regular flour because it just is better in every way, in my opinion. So I thought about it and I was like, wait, I've had this here forever and I wanna use it so I can get rid of it. So thank you, Ethan, for having me use coconut flour in this recipe. Now I've had 2 boxes of Kodiak cakes sitting around forever. So I'm not gonna go out and buy a chocolate one specifically for this. I have the buttermilk. It is what it is. I have the cocoa, I have the chocolate protein powder, so I should still be good. I'm really not worried about it. But sorry, Ethan, I did sway a little bit from your recipe. Because I don't have as much chocolatiness, I'm gonna add a couple grams extra of cocoa. All right, so we have to blend this up for 1 minute, so we will be right back. Okay, bye. All right, so it's almost smooth, but I'm just gonna wipe down the sides and give it another like 15 seconds. It's like right there. It's just all this extra that we got on the sides here. Like you, Ethan, in my reviews, I won't even lick my finger, which I'm very tempted to do right now. One thing to note is mine is a little bit thicker. It doesn't just pour right out like Ethan's does, but I did measure everything, so I don't know exactly what the case is, but I'm not really worried about it. Usually the thicker it is, the more fudgy it is, which is pretty much exactly what we want for a cosmic brownie. I've got my mixture spread. I have mixture all over my hands, which I want to lick but can't. And now we're going to put it in the oven for 4 to 5 minutes. And I'm really hoping I get that nice brown goldenish top like he gets. Fingers crossed. All right, so mine looks about right on the outside. And the inside too. All right, perfect. And Ethan, another thing, I don't have the same sprinkles like you, so these will have to suffice. Ethan, I don't know if it looks like Cold Stone ice cream or a big load of poo, but I'm sure it's gonna be good either way. I'm gonna try the oil trick again, which is working out pretty well. So much for being on center, but I try to put a middle line. Now, this needs to wait in the fridge for 3 hours or the freezer for a shorter amount of time. It's already midnight. So that means that I'm not doing this at 3 a.m. So we will be back tomorrow to review this. It is the next day, and Ethan, you are making me work for this. I went to not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 stores to get a Cosmic Brownie. But now we have it. And in this entire thing, there's 500 calories. And in this one, which is probably about twice the size as far as grams and volume go, is about 800 calories, but we'll go over the macros later. Just like he did, I'm gonna start out with the Cosmic Brownie, which I know is gonna be fantabulous. By the way, if I look familiar, it is because this is the same outfit I have when I just reviewed the Score protein bars that Greg makes. But I wasn't about to change, especially after having to walk to 4 different stores. See, I don't know what makes me think that this tastes so good. I don't know if it's nostalgia or what, because it doesn't taste like a real fudgy, creamy brownie, but it's good nonetheless. You have some pretty big shoes to fill, Ethan. I'll tell you that right now. Now, I'm just hoping this is about an 8 on 10 compared to the Cosmic Brownie. That's all I would really expect. Just putting my spoon into it, it is definitely thick and fudge-like, just like the Cosmic Brownie, but we'll see how the taste is compared to the texture, which is good. A few things to note. We made this with 8 slices of bread. Particularly mine was Italian flavored. Now, it could be that I didn't use chocolate Kodiak cakes, but it was only 20 grams. It was about 1/3 of a serving. So I don't know how much chocolate taste it would have added, but the buttermilk could also be adding to this as well. I can still taste the bread, like as in, tastes like chocolatey bread. For me, the chocolate doesn't shine through at all. It tastes like sweetened bread, pretty much. There's a little bit of chocolate, but like, when you bite into a Cosmic Brownie, you're just like overwhelmingly thick, fudgy chocolate. The texture's there, but for me, the taste isn't. As far as fullness factor goes, I did eat 2.5 Score bars and about 1.5 Quest bars, and I was moderately full, but this was like 2 hours ago. So I was decently hungry. I'm pretty full. So fullness factor is there, texture is there. For me, I think there needs to be more chocolate, and I actually added more sweetener because erythritol, whatever, isn't as sweet as like a Splenda. But it's not even the sweetness. It does taste sweet. It's more the fact that it doesn't taste like chocolate to me. Also, I feel like one component is missing, icing, because there's 2 components to the Cosmic Brownie. So there's no actual like frosting part of it, which is a little bit disappointing. He said he did this 7 or 8 times. For 7 or 8 attempts, Ethan, I think you did good, but I do think there's room for improvement. I would probably give this a 6 out of 10 for the fact that you still get the fullness factor, you still get the anabolic protein factor, and the texture and consistency is there. Although the top layer of icing isn't on there, but the taste isn't there. And obviously I will eat goop, apple poop, if it tastes good. All the other stuff is there besides the taste. I think if I played around with this for 10, maybe 15 more attempts, I'd be able to get it a little bit closer and maybe getting icing on it as well. But for now, we're going 6 out of 10. Oh, and easiness factor. I mean, this is super simple. You put it all in a blender, you blend it, you put it in the oven for 5 minutes, and then you put it in the fridge and wait for it to cool, or you could eat it right out of the oven, he said. But the whole point of cooking is to get better. My first recipe is always not as good as the next recipe. So it's all about improvement. Now in this brownie, there was 500 calories, only 4 grams of protein. My bread was 45 calories per slice. I looked up 647, I think that's 647. It had 40 calories per slice. So for the whole brownie, we're looking at 786 calories, 77 protein, 131 carbs, and 11 fat. So for half of it, which did just make me pretty full, fullness factor is good, you're getting about 393 calories, 38 grams of protein, 65 grams of carbs, and 6 fat. Pretty good. About 100 calorie difference between mine and Ethan's. I'm not exactly sure why. It can't be just the bread, but regardless, still an anabolic recipe. I would recommend using a little bit more cocoa and more sugar if you do use this recipe, but that's just my palate. Everyone's taste buds are different, and you could think that this is perfectly sweet and perfectly chocolatey when you have it. Regardless, like I said earlier, Ethan is putting in work. You should definitely go check out his channel. He has many other recipes as well, and other fitness content that if you're into anabolic recipes, you are probably also into the fitness content as well. So go check them out. But until next time, I will see you in that next one. Deuces.